What you're about to get in this video is over a decade's worth of e-commerce knowledge I've learned while personally doing $10 million in dropshipping and helping clients do over $50 million more on top of that. The exact operating system I use to find products, fix broken stores, scale without blowing ad accounts, and turning the Shopify stores into real businesses. And if you can sit through this entire video, you'll walk away with the same playbook I personally had myself if I started at zero. So let's lock in. Now, the first thing you need to understand is e-commerce is not a product business. It is a system. And most people fail because they think they have a product problem when they actually have a system problem. So what happens? They waste all their money chasing the wrong fix. And sometimes they kill winning products because of broken landing pages. They scale stores that were never meant to be profitable. They eventually quit. That is why people stay stuck under 5K a month for years, because instead of diagnosing the business, they panic and start changing random things. But e-commerce is interconnected. Your product affects your ads affect your traffic quality. Your traffic affects your store behavior. Your store affects your conversions. And then your offer affects profitability. And if one of those parts break, the whole system could collapse. So let me show you exactly what I mean. Right here inside of the ads manager, the first thing I'm looking for is your CTR. Because if your CTR is below 2.5%, that will immediately tell me we either have a weak hook or a weak product. Now, people are seeing the ad, but they don't care enough to click. So before I even touch the store, I already know the problem. And this is probably happening at the creative level. So let's check our CTR. But now, let's just say your CTR is strong, but nobody's adding to the cart. Now the issue is usually the store itself. The landing page, the visuals, the headline, the trust signals. Something is leaking after they click. Now, if people are adding to their cart but they're not purchasing, that usually means an offer problem. People want the product, but they don't see the value to justify the price. And if purchases are coming in, but you're still losing money, now we have a pricing or margin problem. Your AOV is weak, your cost of goods are way too high, or your CPA is killing profitability. So right now, when I open up my dashboard, I'm not emotionally reacting, I'm diagnosing. That's the real difference between a beginner and an operator. Now, once you identify the bottleneck, the fastest way to make zero progression is trying to fix everything at once. This rule completely changed my business once you fix one thing at a time. And you fix this in this exact order: product, ads, store, offer, pricing. Becomes more upstream, problems invalidate, downstreams fixes. Meaning, if your store sucks, fixing your checkout won't save it. And if your ads are really bad, rebuilding the whole entire store won't matter. That is why I use what I call one variable rule. Only change one category at a time. So, for an example, right here, I'm duplicating the same exact campaign, same targeting, same product page, same offer. The only thing I'm changing is the creative. Because if I change the ads, store, or offer all at the same time, I never actually learn what fixed the problem. That's how beginners stay focused forever. Now, the fix themselves are usually straightforward. If the ad is broken, new hooks, new angles, new creative concepts. And if a product spends around 100 to 150 with no real signal, I'm killing it. If add to cart rate is weak, I'm immediately looking at the store clarity, the headline, the visuals, the trust, the product, the explanation overall. Because if customers are clicking but not adding to their cart, the product is probably confusing or weak. And if the customers are adding to their cart but don't purchase, now I'm gonna fix the offer, such as the bundles, urgency, guarantees, social proof. That diagnosis fixes and we can reset that loop. Every cycle follows the same structure. Identify the bottlenecks, apply one targeted fix, relaunch under the same conditions, measure the results. That's how operators scale logically instead of emotionally. Once the store finally gets sales, most people make the most expensive mistake in e-commerce. They think scaling means spending more money. It doesn't. Scaling is controlled growth, and most people destroy winning products because they treat scaling like a slot machine instead of a system. Every beginner says the same thing or does the same thing. They hit 1K a day, get excited, double the budget overnight, then they wake up the next morning with a destroyed CPA and realized real scaling follows this rule. So let me show you what stable scaling actually looks like inside of this campaign right here. I'm looking for 3 to 5 purchases a day, CPA at or below break even, a stable performance at least 2 to 3 days, not one lucky day. Because one good day does not mean my system is stable. Now, once campaigns stabilize, we can vertical scale, meaning we can slowly increase that budget, usually around 20 to 30% every 24 hours. Because large jumps can reset learning and spike your CPA. Then we can horizontal scale. New creatives, new audiences, new countries. So right here, instead of touching the winning campaign, I'm duplicating it into a new audience. The same proven system, new traffic source, and eventually we build a new campaign structure. Testing campaigns, champion campaigns, retargeting campaigns, and then those alone can completely be profitable without increasing the traffic. Now, each one of those campaigns has one specific job because the goal is not one huge day, the goal is repeated consistency. That is how stores compound into millions. Now, here's the part nobody talks about. When you scale, things break, and that's okay. CPA rises, CTR drops, frequency increases, audiences saturate. That's completely normal. And operators who win expect that. So instead of panicking, we monitor metrics daily. So right here in the Ads Manager, the biggest things I'm watching are my CPA, CTR, CPC, and frequency, because those metrics tells me efficiency, fatigue, saturation, and profitability. And this is where e-commerce gets deeper, because a store can generate sales and still lose money, which means profit becomes the real game. And the profit is usually driven by 3 major levers. First is AOV. So right here, I'm gonna go ahead and show you something simple. Bundles, quantity breaks, upsells, these alone can change profitability without increasing that traffic. Second is conversion optimization. Better stores, cleaner checkout, more trust, and faster mobile experience. And third, supplier optimization. Once products are proven, you want to renegotiate your pricing. Then that real growth comes from extracting more value per customer, not just buying more traffic. Now, that is what separates operators building real businesses from dropshippers consistently restarting from zero. System integration. A 20K month store are still more chaotic. One product, one VA, no system, no SOPs, everything consistently breaks. But real e-commerce brands operate entirely different. So at Supreme Ecom, we have creative strategists, media buyers, SRO specialists, supplier systems, back-end email flows, and SOPs for everything. Because e-commerce is a machine. Product creates demand, ads capture attention, store builds trust, offer converts, pricing demands profit. Every single one of those layers feeds into the next one. If you break down one of them, the whole chain snaps. And that's how you go from random wins to predictable scaling. And that's exactly how one of my students scaled over 60K in 90 days, because once you understand the system, you stop guessing. So if you're looking to start right away yourself, make sure to apply for the 100K challenge, where we're personally helping you diagnose your store, fix the bottlenecks, structure your ads, and scale correctly. Other than that, Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. I'll see you later.